you are potentially exposed to future changes in law that could make things a little bit more onerous on the city than where we stand today. That's not to say it could happen, but it's a potential exposure.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any more comments from my fellow council member? Nope. Okay, in that case, I'll open the floor for public comment.
First request to speak is Ben Nielsen.
You know, first off, I'd like to just make a comment off the record, or on the record, I guess. It is really a shame that these people have to sit here this long for a meeting that was scheduled at 5 o'clock. This is the same thing that happened last time we had the sober living house thing. The people sat here till 10, 11 o'clock waiting because staff didn't schedule right. And I would encourage you, we had people leave here tonight already. I would encourage you to either continue this session to allow people to speak on this. It's a shame. Just to tell you, I've been to this community center. I've been there for weddings. I've been there for Junior Chamber of Commerce meetings. I've been there for New Year's Eve parties. I've been there for art auctions. That was the center of Fountain Valley for the social life at one time. I have several questions I want answered. Number one, about 3 months ago, a friend of mine who's in the development business came to me and says, "Hey, did you know that Fountain Valley is putting a hotel behind the city hall?" I kind of shook it off, said, I don't think you're right. Then I received the letter. I started looking around and asking questions. I asked friends of mine in City Hall, what's going on? Oh, staff is working on putting a hotel in. Oh, really? When was that decided? Was that decided in public session? Was that decided in closed session? What's going on here? Last Thursday, I had a conversation with Omar, and I confronted him with that. And he said, oh, yeah, we've been working on that. It's out there in the community, in the hotel community. Everybody knows about it. Again, when was this? Who instructed staff to do this? Was this staff-oriented only, or was this council-oriented? These are questions that need to be answered. We're having a hearing here today. Why are we having a hearing if the decision's already been made? I listened to that staff report. They want a hotel. It's obvious. So when was this decision made, and who made it, and why are we already out shopping it in the community without telling the community here what's going on? Why are we even having the study session? You talk about $2 million worth of work. I'd like to know exactly what the work is that's going to be done, needs to be done on that building. I think the community needs to know, so we can see if $2 million is correct. Somebody's picking that number out of the sky. Mayor Grandes on Facebook has told us that the Boys and Girls Club have already decided to expand up on Brookhurst. And I want to know, I would suggest you look at a private-public partnership and build affordable housing for senior citizens. That fits in with the community, fits in with the residential that's right there.
Ben, your time is up.
Thank you.
Rudy Huebner.
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Rudy Huebner, longtime resident here in Fountain Valley. This was an item that I recently found out about, and as has been confirmed tonight, the prevailing rumor is that a hotel is going to go on this property. And the more that I'm learning about this, again, I share a lot of the concerns that have been voiced online, that is this really the appropriate use for this parcel? Growing up, I have fond memories of going to the library where the Boys and Girls Club is now, and also that community building, which housed a lot of really wonderful classes. I took a cartooning class there. I took dance classes there. There's summer reading programs. So I really think that if the city is going to knock these buildings down and build something that's going to be in code and accessible, that we really should look at developing that space as a community space. And there's ways to do this. So I'm going to present an option 5. Option 5 is let's develop this as a community space that is a facility that can be used for something like co-working or you have facilities that can be rented to generate revenue. I know the senior center is very, very popular for rentals for a wide variety of events. And so to me, between the senior center and the rec center, it seems like there is a prevailing need to have meeting spaces, conference spaces, places for gatherings of varying sizes, places where the various service clubs in the community can use these facilities as meeting spaces. So if we really get creative and work with a developer that's going to build a robust community center that's going to offer rental opportunities of the facility, that's a way to generate revenue and give back to the community. It's a way that we can continue to develop all the fantastic programs that are available, you know, for children, for adults, for seniors. I really feel that a more appropriate use of that space is something that's going to be used by members of the community. A hotel is going to generate revenue, but it's not going to benefit the residents of Fountain Valley. We have no need to go to a hotel. We live here. So I would really encourage council and city staff to think hard about this and look at exploring other options that are going to be more community focused and that still are not, that are still revenue generating for the city. Thank you very much.
Jane Gianola Brown.
Good evening. My name is Jane Gianola Brown, and I am a resident of El Monterey Tract, Los Alamos Park neighborhood. I am a mother of 3 children, Cox PTA member, Fountain Valley mom, group administrator, Green Valley swim meet manager, an involved parent of Boys and Girls Club, Clubhouse Academy, and theater programs. I'm coming to you to express my concern regarding the demolition of the properties leased by the Boys and Girls Club, known as Clubhouse Academy and the Learning Center. My first point is, as one of the residents that received the study session letter, your 4th hotel within a mile would contribute to increased traffic and unwanted commercial activity in the area. Secondly, the Learning Center is the only non-denominational and low-cost affordable infant, preschool, childcare that serves our community. One of our new local business owners of the Creative Ice Company is completely reliant on this care, as well as many other families. The Clubhouse Academy has a wonderful dance, gymnastics, karate, and music programs, which are not only affordable but accessible to working parents, as the Boys and Girls Club provides transportation to the facility. That being said, I am in the Boys and Girls Club Clubhouse Academy watching my daughter's dance classes, and I'm witnessing the dangerous conditions that are starting to happen to this building. Roof leaking, falling tiles, wet, smelly carpet in the office, and staff members are armed only with fans, Febreze, and baking soda to mask the smell of mildew. The only reason they are looking to relocate is when staff is reaching out for help with repairs, they aren't being prioritized as tenants or being served. Please don't divert funds needed to fix the buildings towards costly studies. Please invest in the repairs necessary to keep not only these buildings safe, but the children and staff members. They are an incredible asset to our community. It would be absolutely devastating to lose the programs and lose these spaces. Even if the programs are relocated several years down the road, the disruption to the programs and relegation to temporary spaces would be detrimental to the children and family involved. The Boys and Girls Club has no appropriate space at this time to move said programs by the end of the year. In the words of my 10-year-old daughter, I never knew how wonderful my life could be until I started coming here. This is a place that fosters confidence, kindness, and compassion. Please save these historical facilities. Thank you.
Angela H. on Zoom. Angela? Hold on. Angela, hold on one second. The audio is not connected to this computer, so I can barely hear her from here.
Okay.
Angela, unfortunately, we cannot hear you because the audio is not connected to our speakers. Are you still there, Angela?
Maybe,
I am the only one who can hear you, which is not.
is there an option for the resident to call in, like a regular phone
Yeah,
line?
we have a phone.
A phone line?
Can we volunteer a phone?
Well, yeah, phone,
mean,
and
I
then
hate to lose
we'll
a
put the phone on the
speaker.
speaker, and we'll put it in front of the microphone, perhaps?
Angela, hold on. Let me. I'll message you my phone number right now. Angela? Yeah, you're on speakerphone now. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to thank the council members for giving me the opportunity to provide input today. Sorry, I'm hearing feedback.
You can keep speaking. They can hear you.
Okay. But I can't help but feel that, yes, this is public comment, but city council and the city has already decided on a course of action for this building. And as a mom whose child goes to the daycare and as a resident who lives within 50 feet of this center, I can't help but feel almost a little backslided, if I can find the right words here, about kind of the decisions that are being made. If anything, I have a question for the city and city council to the day. Are there any plans, or have there been plans to conduct surveys and community workshops to gather input from residents on what our civic center should look like? Because I think it's important for you to engage us as residents and citizen centers to reflect the diverse needs and preferences of our community, and that our civic center should really remain a place dedicated to community building and gathering, not to be repurposed for other uses like a hotel that primarily caters to outside visitors. So I just hope you consider these points, and again, as you heard from the other two speakers today, provide public comment. This is strategic asset. There's no course of action, and just think of that. So thank you.
Thank you. I have no further requests to speak.
Okay, I'll go and close the public comment. Do you have any comments from my fellow council member?
Yes.
Councilmember Constantine?
So, I just want to remind everybody that this is city property, and honestly, no decisions have been made outside of this forum. It's normal, and Maggie, maybe our city manager can back me up on this, that economic development staff does go around at conferences and talk up properties and see if there's any interest. It's just putting feelers out there and connecting. Am I right about this? There's nothing been decided. So I think everybody needs to realize that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to sort of say the same thing. There's no decision's been made, and it's as the economic development director, our city staff is always out talking to developers, saying, hey, what about this? What about that? I really appreciate the public comments that we've heard today on this matter. I also agree with Mr. Ben Nielsen, and at the beginning of the meeting I was concerned about this item being agendized and people having to wait to talk about it. So I would recommend at this point that we continue it to the next meeting to give people another community members another chance to speak on this matter before we make a decision.
Okay, actually, I think there's Rick, can you double check there's no more public members that has any blue card? Oh, we said we do have one. I don't have a blue card. Oh, would like to speak? Yeah. Okay.
Cheryl Brothers?
I wanted to hear what all the, Cheryl Brothers, thank you very much. I wanted to hear what all the other speakers were saying, so I didn't go back out to the lobby to get a blue card. I'm actually going to make a suggestion that blue cards be left on the press table, so we don't have to go back out to the library. Thank you. I have to agree with all of the speakers that I could hear. I'm sorry I couldn't hear the last one on the phone. Technology is great when it works, but not when it doesn't. The red square that's marked out on the map takes up an extraordinary amount of parking that is used consistently by the library and Heritage Park. And if you saw that parking tonight, which I know you didn't because I know where you park, it was completely full for this council meeting. And so what would you do with parking if you sold that site as presented that takes up probably 2/3 of the available parking back there in front of the library? I totally agree with Ben Nielsen. I heard months ago that this was on the books, done deal. Those kind of rumors should not be out in the community. However they get started, it doesn't bode well for the city as a whole. So thank you, and I agree, you need to schedule it again at an earlier time. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl Brother. Do we have any other comments?
Any other requests to speak? Seeing none.
Okay, so Councilmember Harper, did you want to make a motion then?
Sure, I'll make a motion to continue the study session until the next council meeting.
And I'll second.
Council, if we are going to continue it and not renotice it, then the next council meeting is fine. We're continuing it to a date certain. If council wants another notice to go out, we would need 2 council meetings to make sure that we can get the notices out in time.
So, Councilmember Harper, did you want to rephrase your motion to whether you want to have another notice or just continue the to a later date?
I don't know. Can we continue it and then still notice it? Just notice it again? I mean,
We can. It just takes, if we want to notice it in the newspaper, they require more notice than you would think. It's 10 days notice, plus you have to get it to them early enough for them to get it into print, so that takes a while. It also takes a little while to get the notices out and mailed out to residents. So it's having it at the next council meeting, which is, I guess it's 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
We'd probably be able to, okay, Rick says we have time.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's,
great.
okay, let's do that.
But never mind what I said.
Okay, so did you,
So it's the same motion, move to continue it till the September 3rd council meeting.
with the notice being published?
And notice.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, just want to make sure that's clear. And we have a second?
And that was the second, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. We have a
Affirm
second. Okay, we have a second by Councilmember Canine. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next item. We'll have someone invite the mayors back to the floor, please. The motion is second. We don't need to vote on that, do we?
We do vote on that.
Oh, we do need to vote. Okay. Okay. So did you want to?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you want to call for the vote?
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion passes 4-0 with Mayor Grandis absent.